Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome, dear students, OOP students. So for now, I'm just going to show you an example how to do your homework, or let us say assignment 1 about the OOP concepts. I'm gonna use IntelliJ for this reason. So let me just now share my screen. This is my screen, as you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to explain like this, like I can write it in the sticky notes on the left side, my like presenter like name. You can do this one in Windows or Mac. So presented by Muhammad Salem, and I'm going to explain the 4 OOP concepts or principles. I'm going to use IntelliJ for this reason. So new project, this is IntelliJ idea, then I will say Dart. After that, deactivate this button if you would like. Don't get like the example. Then I will just say assignment. So just let me assignment 1. Okay, finish. After you created your assignment, now let us start working one by one, explaining the concepts that we have. So we can explain these concepts according to what you have like read from the internet, the definitions, for example, but try to not read them. Just explain by using your own words. So new Dart file. Let me create now one file for the beginning. So main.dart has been created. Okay. If we start now explaining about, I will just make it as comment abstraction. So abstraction means what? Means that let us create a class, for example, called human. This class, for example, has now certain function, or you can just create, for example, integer age. Then after integer age, okay, you have to put this like in the new dot for the null safety, the question mark. After that, maybe you would like also to create, for example, let us say a function, calculate age. So this function is void, it will just calculate age. If you call this function, it will do what? For example, it will return like let us say it will take this function. We can give it, for example, also integer age, and let us say current age. It will take, or integer number. Then it will return just the age multiplied by any number. For example, multiplied, if you give it 1, it will just give you, it will multiply by 10, it will give you 10, like 10 years, and so on. Okay. Sorry, so it should not be, as long as we have input and output, so it should be, will give us integer value, age multiplied by 10. We have to put the exclamation mark to say this variable could be null. It's okay. Then after that, now this is the class, let us say, and of course, in real life you will have many functions. So abstraction about functions. Then you go outside the class. Now after you close the class, we have a void main. So inside this main function, let us say now we want to create an object for a human. So I will create a human, and I will call this a human object Ahmed, for example. And I can write a new, or if you don't like this constructor name, this is a human. So Ahmed has been created. Let us give Ahmed initial value. So either we can make it here Ahmed dot age, or we can just make it Ahmed here. We can give an age value in the beginning, for example, for all it will be 0. Then if we want to update Ahmed age now, Ahmed dot age, because the variable still is not like private, it will, for example, become 1, or we can just make it from the constructor. We can get the value, initial value for Ahmed, for example. It's up to you if you would like. So calculate age. Okay, to now if we write, we will print the we'll call the calculate age. So Ahmed dot calculate age. It will take the number from here. So the current age or the number. So we can delete the age from here. It's up to you, or you can keep it. Now it's 1. Maybe here I'll calculate. It will just, okay, let's say Ahmed, we'll give it 2. So it will take that the current age or any number and return multiply that age by 10. So it will 2 by 10 it will be 20. So run main.dat. As you can see now, you got, okay, the says warning operand of null where has type integer, which is includes null. So in this case, let us see what because you have initial value, no need to write exclamation mark, right? You have 0. So now it's 10. It will give you now calculated age. It will be 2. Where is the print statement? Ahmed dot calculate age. It will take 2. But we didn't use the number, right? So this is the issue. So a number we will multiply by the age. So now age, it was how much? We give it Ahmed 1. So if you give now this number, for example, 2 multiply by age, which is like 1 here, we make it, it will become 2. Okay. Now let us say, according to abstraction, if you want to make any changes, you will not go and change like codes inside the class, like before a function, after a function. If you have other functions, you will just go to that function that you want to make the changes and apply the changes inside that function. So let us say I want later I said, okay, I want to update this function to make it to add, for example, plus number 10. So I will just write plus 10. That's it. Now the change is done. I didn't change anything else in the code, just inside the function. So this is how abstraction is working, like dividing your code into chunks or functions to be easily like editable or to be updated easily. And if you update like any part of code inside the functions, it will not affect the other parts in the class. Okay. Regarding, if we go now and let us go regarding encapsulation. So delete abstraction. Now we have to create another file because we want to access explain the private issue. So that I will just make it a human, this file. Let me take the human class, put it there. So because if we keep it now, it's not going to be working. The private and private is not going to be working. So we can just write here now encapsulation. So in this code, like encapsulation, it says like the class will be like, looks like capsule. Whenever you have variables, you should make them, for example, like private. So now if we want to work with the age, we cannot access from other classes, from other files, sorry, you will get just error. So now if we have to import the human. Okay, after you import the human, you can now access the class. So now if you write Ahmed.age, you'll get error. If you write Ahmed underscore age, also it will tell you, you cannot, there is no getter and setter. So you cannot access this variable because it's now private. The solution for this, I mean, to work with making your variables private is to create getter and setter. For example, integer get function get age, and this get age is like getter what we study in programming too. It will just return for you the age. Okay, so now after I get this, now I can just now this like say if I want to update, I have to create also setter. So set age and to update it. But now I will just want you to show you how to get the age and print the age for Ahmed. Ahmed.get age. That's it. Run it, you will get. It was 0, so it is still 0. So So to get the initial value, you can create constructor, you can create setter, you can create both of them. It's up to you how to deal with it for setting the new value. So this is regarding encapsulation, making your variables private so other files cannot access them immediately only by using what? By using getter and setter functions to deal with these variables. If we move now to the last example about inheritance. Okay. So in this case, let us say I will not make a human, we will just make it. It was a car example we have. So we can delete this file, for example, if you like just to close it, don't work with it, delete the human, and just to make it all the code in one place. Okay. So now in inheritance, we need to create, for example, we should have like a parent class. We'll call it car, same as we did yesterday. This parent class now has, for example, certain attributes. Let us say it has integer, number of seats, as we did before, equals 4 or 5, it's up to you. Then this also, it has one function called the drive. This function, if you call it, it will just print, for example, turn wheels to start, or whatever that you would like to type here, or car is moving, and so on. So now the parent function, parent class now has what? Has one variable or one attribute, and has one also function. If we go now to the other classes, we want to start now create a child classes. So we should start class extends electric car extends what? Car. My way I'm doing is not very correct. In your video recording, you just try to copy and to prepare the examples, to not spend your time typing if you would like to. If you can manage the time issue, it's okay to type and explain while you are typing. So it's up to you. So now children Yakam, or first children is electric car. Let us say it has integer charge level equals in the beginning 0. Okay. Then the other one, let us say we have function for recharging, void recharge begin. So it will take what? It will do this function. It will make a charge level equals 100. Then it will also make what? Print charge is done. Okay. If we go now for another example, the last class, maybe we can make it, for example, levitating car. So this levitating car, it can do what? Also should be child. So we have to write extends what? Car. So now just to be clear with you now, inside the electric car, since it's child class, it has what? It has by default the integer, this one. Let me just make copy and paste. No need for you to rewrite the variable name, and also no need for you to write this one also, the void function. Because you write extends, so you'll get this what? Let us say attributes and functions inside the parent class. Same thing here. I will just make them as comments, so to let you know what is like the advantage of using OOP and inheritance specifically, is just to decrease code. Okay. Now after that, after we created like a levitating car, now this levitating car only, let us say it has it will just has also drive function, but this why I'm just repeating the drive at override. Sorry, why I'm repeating now regarding inheritance. Now what I said, like, let me just complete the inheritance to move to polymorphism. So car, this one I will just say my normal car equals, I will just use the parent class constructor because this is just normal car. And now I can just print, for example, my normal car dot number of seats. How much we will get? As you can see, initial value is 4 for this one, so we'll get 4 number of seats. Now this is about inheritance. Inheritance, so you can create classes, and just to show you what I'm meaning by let us create my Tesla, for example. So I can just use also var, then my Tesla. Then my Tesla equals, it will be electric car, so I have to call electric car constructor. Then if I want now to show you print my Tesla dot a number of seats, you will find out it has 4, so it has the value also electric Tesla, which is electric car. We didn't write anything here like number of seats, just comments here, as you can see, drive. But actually it is taking all the code from the car, extending all the codes from there. So this is like the beauty of inheritance in OOP. I need to rewrite the code. Unless in levitating car, let us say these cars are driving in a different way, so we have to override. We have to override or change the function of levitating car. If we want to call a drive for levitating car, we want to print something else, not terms wheels. So in this case, we can just override, change the behavior for the function. So it was void from the parent class. It was void the drive. So void drive. This is what we call overriding or polymorphism. So the object, the child object, will be just act differently than a parent object. So in this function, we will just say print glide forward or start flying. If you start with this one. So to make it now clear for you now, let us say, I want to make it more clear. So let me delete these comments. Okay. So now this my normal car. If we say my normal car, okay, dot all Tesla car, let us say, I will delete the print statements. So my normal car, let us say dot a drive, and again my Tesla dot a drive. So if we print both of them now, Tesla and what's wrong here? Semicolon, sorry. Both of them now, Tesla and my normal car, are just, they will call the drive function inside the car. Because Tesla, as you can see, electric car, they don't have like a drive function. So they are going to use a car function drive. But if we create now the other one, var my, let us say, Waymo. So this is like levitating car equals levitating car. So my Waymo now, if you call the drive, it will actually run different than other functions. So on this line now here, start flying. So my Waymo object, when call the drive function, it will not call the drive function of the parent class. It will call the drive function of the levitating car, because its type is different than electric and car. That's why. So this is like polymorphism. What it means, you have multiple objects, multiple types. Each type can maybe call same function name, but this function will act differently according to the type of the object. So levitating car, they can fly or driven in different way than the other objects, like a Tesla and normal, by just overriding the drive function. Overriding, it means like changing the behavior. So we have to, it's optional to write this one, but we have to write the same, exactly same name as the parent function name, which is void drive. Then you just write an implementation. If you want to call implementation for to print also this line also, so we can write super.drive. Super.drive will also call the drive function of the parent class in the beginning, first line, to say turns wheels. If these cars, let us say they have wheels in the beginning, then we will say start flying next. So turns wheels, start flying, we will get now these two. It is for what? For Waymo. Thanks a lot. I hope that you get a good idea about how to do this assignment. This is what I want you to do. Like it's not necessarily to type the coding by yourself. You can just prepare the codes and use IntelliJ or other tools just to explain the meaning of each one of these 4 principles. Have a good day. Goodbye.